Hello my violence-loving buddies, this is Depassion, also known as Mikkel, and welcome to another No More Side Jobs segment. This is going to be quite a positive one. Because usually I'm talking about just different life stuff, and this is directly to do with Travis Strikes Again. And also just No More Heroes 2 as well, because at the start of my run for No More Heroes 2, I honestly wasn't happy with it, because when I freshly hopped off the rehearsals and I had all sorts of complaints and concerns about the game, and I was like, why did I like this game so much, like way back when I first played it, and obsessively played it. Like I put a stupid number of hours into it, and it's almost like a second nature now. And just during this run, the only real challenge is now is that I'm using a slightly different controller. And I thought to myself, why? Like, why do I love this game so much? And when it came to No More Heroes 2, it was really just to do with the combat. Like, just mainly the forward roll. The fact that you can just forward roll, your beat attacks actually have a bit more of an impact in the boss fights. And it's kind of a good and a bad thing, this one point I'm going to make, is that you can stun enemies way easier and go into a lethal suplex. There's other things that, I know, it kind of it smooths out the experience overall, such as side jobs not being essential when it came to progression through the game. Like for a lot of players, I think that helps out a lot. For a few, they'll be like, oh man, I kind of liked that. Because it gave you some downtime, but it kind of forced that kind of downtime on you, in a way. So for some players, they're just like, no, I don't like that. So when it came to No More Heroes 2, like, everything felt faster, but a lot of things were taken out as well. I'm gonna put those thoughts aside for now, because I don't want this to turn into just a No More Heroes 2 review. Because that whole segment's gonna be standing alone all by itself. It'll be all nice and pretty like my No More Heroes 1 review. I really enjoyed that No More Heroes 1 review. I really enjoyed putting that together. Now, going over to Travis Strikes Again, I was just chilling out and I thought to myself, you know what, let's just look at some Travis Strikes Again gameplay. I honestly miss it. I genuinely missed playing Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes. It was so much fun. And I was finishing up with uni at the time when I got hold of the game. I'd played the hell out of Smash Bros. From when it got released up to the date when Travis Strikes Again came out, and it was such a breath of fresh air. It was just so refreshing and different from other video games I'd played within my recent years at that point. Like, it was self-aware, it had so many different gameplay elements. The skill chips are incredible. Not even were, they still are amazing. It gives you the option to literally customize your character in a hack and slash, and I didn't think No More Heroes would go that, when it comes to the No More Heroes series, I didn't think it would go that far. To the point that you can literally pick and choose your abilities and put them on a button. And it has like a nice little cooldown time, and that's it, and the cooldown time is different depending on which skill chip you use. That's friggin' amazing. I honestly love the hell out of that. Like, there's obviously, like all games really, there's going to be some weak parts, there's going to be some parts that you just don't really enjoy going through. And to this day, even if there's a review of a video game and it gets a 10 out of 10, that doesn't mean the game is perfect. It just means that, like, yep, really, really, really enjoyable. Like, that's it. Like, no game is friggin' flawless. Before I go on a rant about how I don't know how people could be like, oh no, only N64 games are the best games of all time, every game after is just trash. Like, I'm not going to go on that rant, that's for a separate video, I think. It's that sort of narrow-mindedness and stuff. But anyway, so I really do enjoy these No More Heroes games, just all of them that have come up so far. Because there's so much to examine, just from different perspectives. You can go from a player perspective, you can... I try to go from a game design perspective. I don't know how to make video games. I don't know how to make them. But I can try and understand what the developers and game designers were aiming for. And it's satisfying because it's For me, I compare it to how I was studying books in university, right? There's a lot of books that I would not have just picked up just willy-nilly by myself. Like if I just wandered over to the library or browsed around on Amazon or something for a book to read. There's a lot of books that I just would not have picked up at all. But the fact that we get to sit down and really pick and examine them, that's what I frigging love. So even a book that I absolutely hate to read, Wuthering Heights, absolutely love examining it. And taking it apart and putting it back together and really understand. And doing what I can to understand it. I don't have thorough knowledge on it, especially now, because that game is... because that book is just way, way, way back in my memories now. I don't know. I could barely tell you about that book now. It's a fantastic experience, just gaining those skills and how to examine something thoroughly, like, from so many different points. And chilling out and really trying to take apart how the video game's story works, especially with Travis Strikes Again, because that honestly had the most thorough story out of all the games so far in the series, is a fantastic thing. It really is. Like, I know there's many other story-driven games, but for it to come out of No More Heroes in such a manner is really exciting. And on my first playthrough, going through all of those Travis Strikes Back segments, literally just a visual novel, just text adventures, right? It was very different. It was very different, and it felt like, at first, it felt like the game was asking a lot out of me when just to like sit there and just read like crazy, because I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared for a No More Heroes game. This is nothing like number 1 and 2. Ooh, like. I'll admit, like, yeah, it's hella different. There's even one segment, it felt like it went on for an hour. Like, so much happened that, like, my brain just started to switch off. And I kind of felt bad for that, but I don't know. When I get around to Travis Strikes Again, I do want to have those segments separate from the main run, because I want you guys to enjoy the series and have the option to go through the Travis Strikes Back parts as well, because hell, even the stages are pretty frigging long. Like, I watched one playthrough, and that stage was like a full hour. Like, going through that whole death ball, everything it had to offer, that was over an hour. So my episode structures are going to change. Not that they're all going to be 1 hour long, because honestly, I think my biggest misstep in this entire Journey to No More Heroes 3 run was my first episode of No More Heroes 2. That was 50 minutes long. I'm not going to ask literally almost a full hour out of you guys. So that just felt rude. Like, looking back now, I'm just like, wow, that was just rude as hell of me to even think that was like a viable or a good length of time to like be like, yep, that's a good video length, and just chuck it up. Like, that's just bad. That's just bad. So yeah, if anyone who's sat through that and was like, oh god, when is this going to end? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my first No More Heroes 2 episode. I'm still learning. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying. But overall, when it comes to Travis Strikes Again, god damn, that was a fun ass game. It's just satisfying. It was just fun. I've honestly felt like a teenager again. I literally felt like I first popped open my GameCube and just put whatever game I wanted in there, because it gave me just that variety. And man, I got way more to say about Travis Strikes Again, but obviously it's hard to without immediately having the reference material to hand on why I like it so much. Jeez, that was a fantastic time playing that. And I'm going to do what I can when it comes to the No More Heroes 2 review when that comes out, to not compare it to No More Heroes 1, because I think that's kind of that's the worst thing you can do when it comes to a series, especially, is to have, because it's hard to remove that sort of nostalgia and joy and familiarity when you're looking at a sequel. Well, I think that's what kind of hurts a lot of, when it comes to my experience of when people talk about video games that are within throughout a series. It's good to examine a game by itself initially, and then see where the differences are after. try and examine it in a vacuum like that. I feel like I'll get a more accurate interpretation of No More Heroes 2 if I try and put aside my feelings and views on No More Heroes 1. They still will be in the review, but I want to give No More Heroes 2, and then when I get around to Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes as well, I want to give them all a fair chance, not just see No More Heroes 1 as this holy grail, absolutely perfect, best gaming experience ever, because none of them are. None of them are perfect. They're all great, they're all amazing games, but none of them are perfect. And it's my love for those games as I want to genuinely appraise them in full, not be a true fan and just love them regardless of their flaws and never mention their flaws. Because like that, I think that's the biggest misstep I think I could do when it comes to the reviews. But anyway, I've rambled on too long. Hope you're all looking after yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. But until then, this has been To Passion, also known as Mikkel. See you on the next journey. Take care.